Welcome to the Kino Cave, and today you're getting a bit of an unusual video, one that I didn't think I was gonna make because I didn't really want to get trapped in that kind of idea of making a list of videos. I'm not really crazy about that. I do that a lot in my personal time, but especially when you do like top 10 best, top 10 worst, and making lists, and especially ranked lists, I don't because my opinions change all the time, and it's something that I know that big YouTubers struggle with a lot. Is like 5 years ago they made a list of like their top 10 favorite movies, and people seem to just hang on to that. So um, I wasn't crazy about the whole making lists thing in case in like 5 years I'm a bit bigger than I am now, like numbers wise, and people are looking to that 5-year-old video saying like, well, you thought that this movie was the best movie of the year and now your opinion's different and all that kind of stuff. But I was thinking more about it and thinking more about the different movies I've seen during 2023, and the more I thought about it, the more I really wanted to talk about it, and especially because there's movies on here that I haven't reviewed in like I haven't given them their own video, even though some of them do definitely deserve it. A lot of them are from before I started the channel, because I only started it like in the middle of 2023. So some of them I've made full videos for, some of them I haven't, and this is just an opportunity I think for me to touch on all of them. Uh, so that in a couple of years down the line I'll probably make videos for each of them in their own way. So without further ado, this is my top 10 of 2023, sort of. This isn't necessarily a ranked list. I think my top three are my top three and will remain my top three. But even those are kind of interchangeable in terms of the order. All of these 10 movies are just 10 of my favorite movies that came out in 2023. They are not meant to be taken as number 10, number 9, number 8, even though that's how I'm numbering them, but it's not really meant to be a ranked list, except for maybe the top three. So, again, if I put one movie at number 7 and then another at number 6, that might not necessarily mean that I think that number 6 is better than number 7. It's just, it's there in the list, okay? So much clarification. But anyway, let's just get into it. So, number 10, Scream 6. I've recently become a big fan of the Scream franchise. It was about a year or two ago when I watched Scream 1 for the first time, and it absolutely blew me away. It got me even more interested in Wes Craven than I already was, and I just really loved that movie and how intelligent it was. And over the course of about a year or so, I watched the other 5 movies, and I managed to watch Scream 5 and Scream 6 over the course of kind of a day. And Scream 6 was definitely an improvement over Scream 5. I really like the New York setting. I like how they used Jenna Ortega's character a bit more. I think putting Ghostface in this new situation was really good. The meta commentary is on point as always. So, yeah, I really enjoyed Scream 6, had a lot of fun with it. I'm not going to get into the whole situation in Scream 7 because that's just a mess right now. I just think that they need to leave the franchise alone for a few years and come back to it a bit more fresh with maybe a new cast and a new idea. So, either way, Scream 6, good movie, number 10 on my list. Number 9, The Flash. We're going to be getting controversial in this episode, I feel. Because there's some movies that I definitely think some people are going to wish I had on this list. And there's going to be some that people are going to hate that I have on this list. And one of those is probably The Flash. So, yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of fun with it. I bought it on Blu-ray. I watched it again, and I don't know, it's just really enjoyable. Like, you can pick it apart and you can find a lot of terrible things in them, and there's like, I'm not gonna try and defend any of the bad stuff in that movie. I think it'll probably end up being more of a guilty pleasure for me actually as time goes on, because I don't know, I have a lot of fun with it. It's cool seeing, 2 different Batmen in one movie, and Sasha Calle is really good at Supergirl, or I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm sorry for my mispronunciation of her name. The less said about Ezra Miller, the better. And yeah, it gave me a lot of what I wanted from this kind of multiverse movie. So yeah, The Flash, not terrible. Number 8, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. I don't know if it's meant to be Part 1 or not. Because the title seems to be all over the place. But either way, Mission Impossible 7. Yeah, really enjoyable. Maybe a tad too long. I made a video about it a good few months back when it kind of came out, but yeah, really enjoyable. I still don't think there's a terrible Mission Impossible movie. Like, yeah, MI2 is not great, but I still watch it. Like, I still watch it every couple of years, especially when there's a new MI movie coming out. And yeah, this I think Christopher McQuarrie is a really excellent action director. He does really, really well. Obviously, it's not on the level of Fallout, but I just still really enjoyed Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, and I can't wait to see what Mission Impossible 8 brings. Number 7, Priscilla. So yeah, I watched Priscilla about a month ago, maybe a little less than that. And yeah, it's really excellent film. Absolutely brilliant. Jake Elordi is incredible as Elvis. He looks exactly like him, and I forget the name of the actress who plays Priscilla, but she is also just on point. Sofia Coppola directs the shit out of this movie as well. It is absolutely brilliant. So revealing, and it never takes the attention away from our main character Priscilla, which I feel like is an easy hole to fall into when you're doing a movie like this. You know, a movie that's kind of less about the famous person and more about the people around him. It could have been very easy to give us all the fan servicey, like Jacob Elordi singing all the Elvis song stuff. Yeah, no, absolutely brilliant film. I didn't make a video on it because I don't think there's a whole video's worth of points that I can make about it that, you know, isn't already being said about a bunch of other people. But yeah, like, of course this is going to be on my top 10 of 2023. It's an absolutely beautiful film. And if you haven't seen it, I would highly, highly recommend it. Number 6, Renfield. I really enjoyed Renfield. Again, it's so much fun. Nicolas Cage kills it as Dracula. You can tell that this was one of his dream roles, and he's just having so much fun with it. This film has a lot to say about kind of, you know, the way people are treated in the modern age, and kind of about self-help and self-love, and, you know, having, you know, issues with self-love and all that, and Nicholas Hoult portrays that really, really well. And along with all of that, it's just such a fun movie. It's such a fun horror comedy movie. That a lot of the special effects are really good, and watching the behind the scenes on the Blu-ray, you can tell that everyone involved with this really cares about the legacy that Dracula has. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. I'm actually like getting in the mood to watch it again as I'm talking to you about it. It's such a fun film. Such a fun way to, you know what it is? It's a really good party movie as well. You know, throw it on with a few of your friends and just have a laugh. Number 5, Barbie. So I've got Barbie behind me, although the exposure is kind of fucked because my camera isn't that great. But yeah, of course Barbie was going to be on this list. I mean, you know, I'm not going to try and like do this whole hot take thing. Like, I personally know a lot of people, and I've seen a lot of people online go, well, it's not that good. And I don't think it really matters, you know. It's what this film did in 2023. Like, you know, a film based on an IP, but with a completely original story, made by a visionary director and a small production company. I'm not talking about Mattel or Warner Brothers. I'm talking about Margot Robbie's production company. Just telling this unique story that has a lot to say. I think that's really important. It's really good for films, and it's you know, really good for this type of filmmaking. You know, female filmmakers and stories about women and all that kind of thing. I do think Priscilla kind of is a better representation of that, but the fact that Barbie did as well as it did shows that there's a shift going in our culture, and I think that's really, really important. And aside from all that, because I know that you can complain about that view to death, Barbie is also just a really fun, funny movie as well, and it's such an enjoyable movie to just throw on and experience. Number 4, John Wick Chapter 4. Yeah, oh god, John Wick Chapter 4 absolutely blew me away. I keep going into a John Wick movie thinking, is it going to be as good as the previous ones? And it nearly always is. Um, I'm honestly, I'm fighting with myself whether or not I want to put John Wick 1 or John Wick 4 at the top of my list of John Wick movies, but Chapter 4 just blew me away. The action is incredible, it's ramped up again. It's really funny. Keanu Reeves gives his best performance since the first John Wick in this movie. Every actor is on point, and visually it's incredible. And Bill Skarsgård is brilliant. I think he's the best John Wick villain we've had. Yeah, just what a great action movie. Number 3, Evil Dead Rise. So, like I said, the top 3 are kind of my. They're all. 3 of them are tied for my favorite movie of 2023. I loved Evil Dead Rise. Uh, like my friends make fun of me for how much I love Evil Dead Rise. I thought it was just such a great, enjoyable horror movie. We just don't get horror movies with this level of filmmaking anymore, and the fact that it all comes from an Irish-born filmmaker as well just makes me really proud. And I've watched the movie with like his commentary over it, and I can just hear the passion in his voice when he's talking about the movie. You can tell that everyone in this movie really cares about the franchise, really cares about what they're putting out. They want to put out a great horror movie. Alyssa Sutherland kills it, literally. She is absolutely brilliant. One of my favorite horror villains ever. She is perfect as Ellie, and I loved. Oh God, what's her name? The sister, Lily Sullivan. Lily Sullivan. She gives a great performance as well, and the kids are really excellent as well, especially for child actors. And yeah, I've watched the film like 5 or 6 times since it came out, and it's not even been out with a year. That's how enjoyable this movie is. That's how weirdly comforting this movie is for me. Number 2, Poor Things. I absolutely loved Poor Things. I made a video about it not too long ago, so I'm not gonna reiterate many of my points from that. Go back and watch that video if you want to hear my full thoughts on Poor Things. But yeah, I love the film. Emma Stone is brilliant. I didn't mention Yorgos Lanthimos in my review for it, so I'm just going to say now, wonderful direction. So big props to him. And yeah, all the acting in it is great. The filmmaking of it is great. It's so weird and cool. And again, I just love the references to philosophy and Frankenstein and all those kinds of things, which again I touch on in my video in more depth. So go watch that for my full thoughts. But otherwise, Poor Things, really, really excellent. Blew me away. Number 1, Oppenheimer. Yeah, if you watch my video, which I'm not terribly proud of because I feel like I just spend half an hour like screaming that the movie's good, but I loved Oppenheimer. I again walk into a Chris Nolan movie very skeptical on whether or not, oh shit, this is going to be the one that I hate. And no, I walked out of Oppenheimer absolutely loving it, and I've seen it again since. I've seen it twice since seeing it the first time, and it's still just such a really fantastic movie. And again, a movie coming out in 2023, made by a visionary director, R-rated, making almost $1 billion. That's just incredible. Like, that's such a... It's really changing the landscape for film right now, and I'm very happy about that. And yeah, I absolutely loved this film. Cillian Murphy deserves all the awards he's getting for his acting. Again, Irish pride, going with that. Fuck, my top 3 movies of 2023 are all have connections to my home country. I just realized that. Everybody's biased about movies they watch, so don't pretend that you're not. I'm aware that I'm biased, but otherwise, yeah, Oppenheimer, absolutely brilliant movie. And I'm debating whether or not I want to tell you to go back and watch my review of it because I'm not entirely proud of it, and I'll probably make a video in the future going into it in a bit more depth and just making a better video about it. So yeah, Oppenheimer, probably my favorite film of the year, but I kind of switch up between Poor Things and Evil Dead Rise as well. I've definitely seen Evil Dead Rise more, but Poor Things has also made me think more. So that's kind of why they're all tied. It's kind of like Oppenheimer's the one that blew me away the most. Poor Things is the one that made me think the most, and Evil Dead Rise is the one I want to go back and watch the most. So I think that's why they're the top three. So those are my top 10 movies of 2023. Like I said, they're not much of a particular order, and yeah, I really felt like making this video. You know, as I said in my previous Saw 2 review, I make videos about things that I'm passionate about, and I put a lot of passion into my list of 2023 because there's so many movies that came out that I just absolutely loved. You know, there's movies I enjoyed that aren't on this list, and I'm sure I'm gonna get flack. No, I didn't think Across the Spider-Verse was that good. Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is that good. It just didn't make the top 10. Yeah, look, there's more things besides comic book movies out there, guys. Go watch Poor Things, go watch Priscilla, go watch Evil Dead Rise if you like horror movies. Go watch John Wick 4 if you like action movies. Alright? Cape shit is not the only thing out there. With all that being said, let me know what your favorite movie of 2023 was. Get some engagement going down in the comments there. Like the video if you enjoyed it. I'm hopefully going to have more really good content coming for you soon. I'm working hard on that Spider-Man 2 review that I keep mentioning. So look forward to that. And subscribe if you want to see more from Mr. Kino. Otherwise, have a great day. This is now my third attempt to record this video.